What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Rambo 3. So I have the Blu-ray right here. You got a little front action. You got a little back action. And once again, you got some chrome aesthetic going on. Very nice. It's hurting my eyeballs, but it is what it is. So, Rambo 3. What are my thoughts? This was a first time watch. Just gotta let everyone know. I said this in my other Rambo reviews. I've seen First Blood, but I've never seen any of the sequels. So, Part 2 was a first time watch, and this one was a first time watch. And I enjoyed First Blood, and I enjoyed Part 2. Rambo 3, I'm going to be 100% honest. I could not get into this when I was not a fan of it. There was definitely stuff that I liked, but yeah, overall, this was not my cup of tea. So yeah, there you go. Sorry if I'm letting people down. Of course, you know, there are people that probably do like this film, but yeah, it was just to me it wasn't on par with the first two. So yeah, to me it felt like a step down. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on Rambo 3. So now I'm going to jump into a quick plot summary. So at the beginning of the movie, Rambo is living in Thailand. He lives at this monastery, and he lives a very peaceful existence. He's pretty much done with all the military stuff, all the fighting, and he just wants to live a peaceful existence. That's all he wants to do. And Colonel Trotman, I'm probably saying that name wrong. I think I've said the name wrong in all these videos. I'm sorry if I am. Colonel Trotman comes and sees Rambo, and he's like, "Hey, we have this mission. We need your help. We need your help fighting these Soviets in Afghanistan." And Rambo's pretty much done fighting. He's like, "You know what? I already paid my dues. I've already fought enough. I'm retired. That's unfortunate that this conflict is happening, and civilians are getting injured, but he's like, you know what? I'm retired. I put this behind me. I can't help you." And he's just in his head, he thinks like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to help. But then it gets personal because Colonel Trotman is actually captured by the Soviets. So then, Rambo has a reason to go. Of course there already kind of was a reason, but it wasn't worth it to him. He's like, hey, get someone else. I've already paid my dues, which totally makes sense. But then, it gets personal where Colonel Trotman is captured, and that's like Rambo's mentor pretty much. So Rambo goes to Afghanistan to save Colonel Trotman from these Soviet military personnel. So that is the basic plot summary. Jumping into my first point here. Here's my main gripe with this movie. So, man, I thought this movie was very, very, very slow. It took so long to get going. And slow movies work a lot of the time. I love a good slow burn movie. Like, some of my favorite movies of all time are slow burn movies. But when your lead character is a man of few words, the slow burn stuff where people are just walking around and talking doesn't really work when your main character says like one or two words every so often. I love the character of Rambo, and he always says stuff so matter of fact, and he's always kind of brooding, and he just has that look in his eyes he's seen some shit, and he doesn't have to say some corny stuff. Like people will ask him and he's like, he doesn't have to tell people like, everything that he's done, and he doesn't have to like showboat. Like I like his character. I like the fact that he's quiet. It makes sense for his character, but it's just hard for like, okay, it's hard for him to carry the entire what like pretty much first half of the movie when he's just not talking that much and there's not that much going on overall. Like that's how this movie was. It was took a long time to get the ball rolling, and there was some interesting stuff here and there, but for the most part, the what seemed to be like the first half of the movie was very slow. It took a while to get going, and then once it got going, it was just going non-stop for the rest of the movie. So it was like you pretty much had no action, just build up, but like in my opinion, too much build up. Like I feel like the pacing in this movie was slow. Like I feel like it took a long time to get from like point A to point B to point C. It's like, okay, we get it. Like let's advance the story. Let's move forward. Like the pacing was slow, and the pacing was also like inconsistent. Like I said, it was like nothing was happening for half the movie, and then everything happened for the rest of the movie. It was just all action, and action is good, but it's like too much of a good thing where there was so much action, and I got action fatigue. I'm like, okay, like this is cool, but like I'm tired of this. Like, okay, there's an explosion, they're shooting at each other again. It's like it's cool, but when it's just non-stop for like this, what seemed like I said, what seemed like the second half of the movie, it probably wasn't that long, but it seemed like that. Like it was just like unrelenting. I'm like, okay, this is too much. Like I feel like in the previous two films, they kind of broke it up more, where it's like you have a slower part, then you have more of a action heavy part. This one, it was like slow, then action, and then the movie's over. So yeah, that's pretty much the bulk of why I didn't like this movie. Just everything that I just said right there. So yeah, that's what led to me not really enjoying this movie. But there was some stuff that I liked, and I do want to get into that because I don't want to be a complete negative Nancy on here. That's no fun. I mean, sometimes that is fun to watch when people just rip apart movies, like Rambo for Life on YouTube. He does like movie reviews. He does like the same style where he doesn't edit or whatever. He's kind of like an OG. I feel like he's been doing it. He's been doing reviews probably like 10 years or more. Like if you look at his old videos, like they're like grainy AF. They look like they were filmed like back in the day, but it was like, I don't know, like 10 years ago or whatever. But yeah, he kind of, sometimes he'll just like totally rant on movies, and I think he'll be like throwing shit in his videos, or he'll just be like screaming. Like sometimes that is fun to watch, but that's works well with his style. My style is not really to totally rip apart movies. Like I like to always try to find a positive. So maybe that's not good for my views, but that's my style. So getting into some positives, I really like the Afghanistan setting. I don't know, it was just really cool. Like the whole desert setting, and you had like a lot of mountainous areas and these big cliffs. The Afghanistan setting was beautiful, and I feel like it worked well for this type of action movie, like war-centric movie. Even though it's not like a real war, it's like it's like a military conflict. Like it just like the desert works well for this this type of conflict. Like people are flying over in helicopters, and there's like bombs going off, and all this stuff with the Afghani people was cool. Where like Rambo, he had this guy who was like pretty much like his guide, and they had like a good relationship. And there's this like little badass Afghani kid who was like helping Rambo. Rambo's like, dude, don't help me. Like I don't want you getting hurt here. But like that kid was awesome, and he was always like, oh, let me have your knife, let me have your necklace. He was fun. I really liked him. So yeah, I liked some of the Afghani characters. The Afghanistan setting was cool. So there you go. Yeah, I really like. I pretty much I like how each of the first three films are like set in a different country. That's kind of cool because a lot of franchises do that where it's like each movie is set in a different you know different place. So for me, like that kind of makes it fresh and that makes it fun. So I enjoyed that. There's this scene where Rambo gets shot through like the side of his abdomen, and he like so the bullet goes in the back of his abdomen, like pretty much his side, and it goes out the front. And he gets his like two fingers and he pushes the bullet through. So he's like sticking his fingers in the wound, pushing the bullet out, and then he like puts some gunpowder on it and he cauterizes the wound himself. That scene was crazy. I was just like, when I was watching, it was like hard to watch because it was kind of gross, but it was like interesting. It was like it just showed how hardened he is. He even brought it up later when like Trotman was asking like, how's your wound, and he's like, you taught me to ignore pain. He's like, how's that working out? He's like, I think he said something like not so well or something like that. Like that's hardcore. You're gonna push the bullet through and cauterize your own wound. Like I couldn't imagine that. And it was the effects were cool on that. It was like all practical effects, and it was just it was like kind of gross to look at, but it just showed like how hardened he is, and he did a good job of ignoring the pain. Like he had to do what he had to do. So I really liked that little sequence. And then there's this one sequence where Rambo shoots this explosive arrow at a helicopter, and it just like he just totally obliterates it. That that was absolutely awesome. I really liked that. That like in terms of an action, quick little action scene, that was like my favorite little action scene in the movie. And he's used those explosive arrows in previous films, so that was like a cool little callback. I don't even know if that's a callback, but it was cool, like connective tissue or whatever. So there you go. And then the last thing that I really liked is early on in the movie. There's this. Okay, so the Rambo's like main connect in Afghanistan. The guy that I was talking about, that's kind of his guide. Like he's kind of helping him out when he's in Afghanistan. This guy's name is Hamid, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong too. I'm bad with names, but early on, Rambo's going through his equipment, and Hamid's like, "What's that?" And it's like he has like a little. Rambo has like a little glow stick, and like Hamid's like, "What's that?" And Rambo's like, "It's a blue light." And then Hamid's like, "What does it do?" And then Rambo's like, "It turns blue." Like a lot of Rambo's dialogue is just so matter of fact. Like that's like the type of guy he is. Like he doesn't. He's just like so like straight to the point, and he's just like, it turns blue. And I really liked that. I thought that was funny. And there's a couple they kind of like bring the blue light back later on where he actually uses it. So he's in this like sewer and he whips it out. I'm like, oh, he's actually using the blue light. That's cool. And then like way more towards the end, he's in this cave and he's using the blue light to kind of like trick people. Like he uses it in these traps. Like there's this one trap that he does where it's like the blue light is tied to the pin of a grenade, and this one Russian guy sees it and just like grabs it, rips the pin off the grenade accidentally. That was great. So yeah, I liked all the stuff with the blue glow stick. I liked that it came back and then he's like using it in traps. That was great. So yeah, big fan of the blue glow stick stuff. And the last point that I want to get into is not a negative or a positive. It's more of a WTF. And it's okay. So the whole reason that Rambo, goes to Afghanistan to fight the Soviets is because Colonel Trotman is captured. And he's captured because he's in this like firefight, right? And I'm thinking, why the heck is Trotman still on the front lines? Like, why is he engaging in combat? He's up there in age, and he's a pretty high-ranking officer, and it seems like he's had, you know, he's seen some stuff. You know, he's been in like combat situations, like at his age and like at his rank, and how tenured he is, how long he's been in the military. You would think he wouldn't just be on the front lines still. Like they would use, like he's such a wealth of knowledge at this point. Like why wouldn't they just use him to train people? Or you would think he would just be kind of planning the missions more. Like why is he out here shooting people? Like why is he out here on the front lines? I didn't get that. I'm like, that's the whole reason he got captured was because he was out there on the front line shooting. And I'm like, one, he seems too old. I'm not knocking him. Like, I mean, he still looked like good for his age, but like, he's probably too old to be on the front lines. And he's like this high-ranking official who's paid his dues. Why is he still out here, you know, shooting people? Why is he still out here on the front lines? Like, it just made no sense. And I was like, the whole movie didn't make sense to me because I'm like, why, like, the whole reason he got captured is because he was out here on the front lines. But I'm like, why was he even on the front lines? Was he supposed to be? Did he just go out and, like, not tell anyone? He just, like, wanted to, you know, he was just, like, hungry for some action. Like, he just was so passionate about this conflict that he had to, like, you know, just jump into the you know, battle situation. Like, I don't know. I just didn't get that. It didn't make sense to me, but maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm being a silly goose. I don't know. So that is my last point. In terms of a recommendation, I'm telling you what, I would not recommend Rambo 3. I don't know. I would stick for, at this point, I've only seen the first 3. Out of the first 3, I would say, you know, stick to the first 2, and I would say skip part 3. Like I said, there is some good stuff going on, but overall, it's just this movie is boring, and yeah, I just wasn't into it. I was kind of zoned out. Like I couldn't really get invested. Even like I said, even later on, there was some good action, but I don't know. There was just something about this movie that it felt like a step down. It wasn't the same as the first 2. So that is my recommendation, and that has been my review of Rambo 3. Thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.